Should I give up or should I just keep chasing pavements even if it leads to Meat Sangria? Welcome to the podcast, everyone. That was Adele singing Chasing Meat. She used to chase meat, now she's skinnier so she doesn't eat as much. What a fine day it is today, guys. I don't have many things set up in the background. I don't have the usual photographs because I didn't want to put them up today. I wanted you all to see my beautiful little face. I got a haircut in case you can't tell. What's that guy? I forget the guy. I follow him on TikTok. The guy's something about a haircut. He has a haircut video that's just everyone writes in the comments haircut in every one of his videos. I got a little haircut. This is real short. I got probably, I think, a pound of hair shaved off. It's crazy how much volume can just be taken off. A little bit too short, I think, but I got it because I'm going on vacation, as you know, next week. As some of you may not know, whatever. And I just want to have less hair because it gets unruly, and I don't have the means. I don't know what the shower situation is, and when I have puffy hair, it's like I can't manage it unless I have like product. So this is way better. So I'm happy with this for now. It'll look way better in a couple weeks, I think, but it looks fine. You know, it depends on how you style it, but got it all sheared off. I feel like a sheep in there. Got it. Me and my guy talking about, I don't even remember what we're talking about. Oh, he's from Africa, so we're talking about my barber is Moroccan, which some people don't really consider Africa in their minds. They go, wait, oh shit, you're right, it is North Africa. It's a unique culture. It's kind of like, in my mind, I associate it with Turkey for some reason, even though they're pretty far apart, but they're kind of geographically similar, right? They're both like on the Mediterranean, essentially. I guess Morocco is, even though it's like right at the mouth of the Mediterranean. I don't know. Speaking of haircuts, I saw this one thing on Twitter. Someone was like, someone was asking how many haircuts people get in a year, and the guy was like, I'm concerned if anyone gets under 12 haircuts in a year. And I'm like, what? Bro, I haven't got my haircut since, like, I think it was May. It was the day my grandpa died. I don't know why I remember that. May 28th. So that's been like 2 months and like a week. 2 months and 2 weeks. It's a long-ass fucking time, dude. Which isn't normal, but also once a month at minimum seems excessive. Seems excessive if you're if you're bad with your hair. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I feel like my hair looks fine when it's not cut that often. I don't know. I think some guys like love going to the barbershop and they love getting like their taper fade and they love just shooting the shit. Also, my barber just raised their prices, bro. $40 for a regular haircut. Just kill myself. Jesus Christ. Back in the day, it used to be $10, used to be $15. $40. So I can't afford. Here's what happens when they raise their price. I just go less. If it was $20, maybe I'd go once a month. Maybe I wouldn't. It's $40 plus a tip. Plus a tip on top, and it's got to be a good. It can't be a fucking 20% tip. Or is that $8? It's got to be like a 40% tip, right? So you know, it gets expensive. And I don't, I mean, everything's more expensive now, but just, some things you got to cut costs. I used to cut my own hair during COVID, I did. And I kept doing it for a couple of years after that. And honestly, right when I started doing TikTok is when I stopped, or when I joined the gym. They all happened at the same time. It's a very weird part of my life where I just started doing TikTok. I joined the gym, and then I started getting haircuts at the barber again. Because the barbershop was right next to the gym, and I was like, oh, I can just conveniently go to the gym and the barbershop at the same time. And I haven't cut my hair since, and I'd be scared to do it. I think the problem is I'm not going to say I'm a public figure, but like, if you're on stage and you're making videos all the time, like, if I fuck up, I fucked up pretty bad. Everyone's going to be like, yo, your hair. Even when I get a regular haircut, people are like, yo, what is that on your head, dude? You like your haircut, Matt? Or they do, what's the classic, what does your barber do for a living? That's a classic. So if I did it myself, I'd be like, well, my barber's a comedian and he's not very good at it. He also sucks at cutting hair. I just think, the top would be good. The top is easy to just trim, snip with some scissors, but the side, getting that fade, getting that skin fade into the other fade, tough, man. Plus I got like that mirror in the back. Tough, dude, tough. I remember my grandma, one second. My grandma would always say how she used to cut my grandpa's hair, and she would offer to cut mine, and I'd be like, I'd be like, no. Like, she'd be like, I'm such a good barber. And you see my grandpa's haircut, it's just a buzz cut all around. You're like, okay. Yeah, I mean, I can do that too. I can just cut all my hair off as well. It's not like, he has flowing locks. That'd be impressive. Then I'd let you cut my hair. But I'm like, yeah, I need a skilled man to do this. I can't lose all my length. Like, it looks short in my hair. If I pulled it out, it'd go down to like here. It's very long. The curls tighten up. So, it is what it is. By the way, as I'm recovering from an illness, I said last episode how I was getting sick. Turns out I had a sinus infection, and it was so fucking annoying. But I got antibiotics, and I've been taking them, and it's pretty much away. I just need to keep taking it. I'm scared because I have to start taking malaria pills tomorrow. I don't know if I can take them both at the same time, but I'm going to try to just take it up to tomorrow, and then I'm going to stop. We'll see, but I feel good. So it hurt to speak, it hurt to eat. I feel it a little bit right now. It feels like a little. It's not fun. I don't know how to describe it if you've ever had one. It's just like, I thought it was my tonsils. I remember saying that. It's stupid me. I'm not a doctor. Stupid. I was a doctor for about 3 years in multiple capacities. No longer a doctor. I forgot all that information. Stupid me. I thought it was my tonsils. So I got my antibiotics, which are only $10. What a great modern medicine situation we have. Thank you, United Healthcare, for the cheap medicine. $10. And they worked. They've worked so far. And I don't know if I've said this before, how I can't swallow pills properly. It comes and goes. Sometimes the problem is when I have a sinus infection, your throat is really like closed off, and it's hard. So like I need to swallow this big ass pill, and my throat's closed. So it was tough. I was cutting them in pieces, but the last few times I've done it whole. So I think it like depends on the day. Some days I wake up and I'm like, I cannot swallow this pill. I can't do this. And then some days I'm like, oh, we're chilling. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know why. I bought some thick water one time to see if that would help me swallow pills, and it's fucking gross, thick water. It's like eating someone's spit, which, I'm not trying to kink shame anyone here. Some of you guys are into that, but it's fucking gross. It is nasty. Nasty business. I don't know who that accent was, but it sounded pretty good. It sounded like someone. What I do this weekend, I went crabbing. You guys ever been crabbing? It's like fishing, but smellier and less glamorous, we'll say. Crabbing, I think I talked about crabbing last year. This time we caught fucking hella crabs, bro. We went to a new spot. So we went on Long Island, but my aunt used to live far out in this town. We're not going to name names. But I remember we used to go there all the time when she used to live there, and we would catch hella crabs. And the problem is we thought this place was only for residents, which it is, but after 6 p.m. So after 6 p.m., you have to be a resident to go and fish there and park there and whatever. So we went earlier instead of the other spot, and we were catching them, bro. You didn't even need bait, bro. You saw them swimming, you just dip your net in the water and fish out some fucking crabs. We caught like 20 probably. I caught a giant-ass one, bro. A huge crab. And we cooked them. Went back to Grandma's house. We rinsed them out. We boiled them, and we chowed down. And they are so hard to eat. They have such little meat, and they're messy, disturbing. Like, truly, watching someone eat crabs is like a test of a relationship. Just ripping guts everywhere. Watching them boil crabs too. I feel bad for the crabs, but also like they kind of just chill when they're in the water. I really do think they don't feel pain. Because here's the thing. I know if I was put in boiling water, if you dumped me right now in boiling water, I would be like flailing and screaming, be like, oh my God. If you put a crab in boiling water, it just goes like, oh, okay. She's like, this is nice. I can get used to it. And then he goes unconscious. Like when they're in the bucket and they're fighting, we had like a bucket full of crabs, and I was pulling the crabs out, and some of them had lost limbs. That's what I felt bad for. That's the part, because you have just a bucket with like 20 crabs in there. There's not enough space for all of them. So they're like fighting each other. They're just like, they think they're like enemies. And you pull one out and it just like has someone else's claw, and then you're like, fuck, shit. And I think one of them died at the bottom of the bucket too. It was like a zombie crab that just got completely fucked up, and I felt bad. But we eat them. The circle of life continues. I also, here's the thing. When people complain about throwing out food and like, oh, don't waste food, I get it. I'm in agreement principality-wise. But also, when you throw something out, it returns to the earth in a sense. Like, garbage dump have flies that eat all this disgusting sewage. We have all this stuff. Like, composting especially. I compost my stuff. if I throw something out, it goes into these compost pits or whatever. I don't know if I trust them. So it does get returned to the earth, right? It's a waste to kill something if you don't want to eat it, but I'm saying, like, it's not the end of the world if you're eating meat and you throw a little bit of gristle out. You're like, okay, that just goes back into the ground, and the circle of life. A tree will absorb those nutrients. So I'm not that upset. I don't feel like a crazy urge to shovel food in my mouth. So when I'm eating crabs and I can't pick out a certain little bits of meat, I'm like, all right, whatever, it'll go back. Apparently fish guts and like crab, like, I don't know why people like fertilize their plants with like fish parts. I don't know, maybe they have good nutrients, but that's a thing. It's a known thing. I think it just adds a lot of good stuff to the soil, but like fish bones and heads and stuff, you just like grind it and put it in under your plants. I was telling my grandma, like, yo, throw these crab shells in the garden. She's like, no, we're throwing them out. I'm like, all right. Guys, one day if I have a nice big house with a nice big garden, I'm throwing all the scraps back there. We're seeing what can happen. Get a nice worm compost pit with some big... They should honestly be running... There should be like a... Bill Gates should be biologically engineering worms so that they can eat plastic. I've always thought that was a cool idea, and I don't think it could work at all, but like... Just make some like mutant worms, blast them with X-ray radiation until they like grow into some disgusting creature, and then have them eat like credit cards in a pile, and see what they can turn. The problem is they can eat the credit cards; they have to turn it into something good. That is the problem. They can't just eat credit cards and spit out more credit cards. That makes no sense, actually. That makes no sense. Popular weight loss drug linked to alarming health risk. Let's just read this article real quick. It just popped up. Let me guess, Ozempic? Let's see, 1 second. Impacted eye health. Oh. Interesting. Ozempic could lead to bad eye health. All right, whatever. That's not interesting. Okay. We're talking about Africa. I'm going to Africa in a couple of days. By the way, guys, I said I was going to make 2 episodes this week. I'm not. We're not having an episode next week. It's too much for me. A lot of stuff to do. So we are skipping an episode for the first time in history. We are skipping a week, I guess, not an episode. So probably the one after that's going to be pretty long because I'll have a lot of things to talk about. But yeah, we are skipping one. So I'm sorry. You're going to have to be without me for 1 week. And it's going to be tough. I mean, I'm going to cry. Well, I'm going to think of you guys on Sunday. I'm going to be like, fuck, I couldn't deliver. I couldn't give them what they needed. I think I'm going to be on a plane on that day, actually, so not going to be that sad. I could die, you know what I mean? I could die, and it's out of my control. But what else? Oh, dude, there was... I don't think I talked about this last year. No, I didn't have the podcast then. I went on this date with a girl, and it was a good date. I was in a good mood. I was walking home, and some lady, like, came up to me in the park and started talking to me. And she had this whole presentation about how she has, like, these charities... or she has this charity that does stuff, and this current mission of her charity was to give chocolate to kids in Africa. And I was like, what? What the heck is this? And she had like this whole like detail. It was like an amazing presentation. And she was like, can you donate? Like, I need $20. And I was like, yeah, that's a lot of money. But I was in such a good mood. I was like, that was a good date. I enjoyed this person. My life's going good. I gave her $20. And I'm just thinking, like, what is this? Listen, if it was a scam, it was a scam. It was a well done scam. It was I'm like, what do the kids in Africa need chocolate for? What the heck? It didn't make any sense. I like chocolate. Isn't cocoa from Africa or no? Is it from South America? I forgot. I don't remember. But it just seems like they're like, do they have water? Or like, why are we giving these people? It seems like they could use so many more things than just chocolate. It was a very strange thing. And I remember asking her questions. I don't know. I was like, how do you get the chocolate? I was like, what? What is this? I remember asking her enough. We had like a good 20-minute conversation. I was just there. And I was like, fuck, she got me good. It was also like 9 o'clock at night in the fucking park. It was a very suspicious time. But whatever. And I think I saw her again, actually. I saw her again, I think, going up to other people. And if she came up to me again, I would have been like, I already gave you money for the chocolate, lady. So I don't know. Maybe I'll see the kids. If I go to Africa, I think we're going to go to like a village at one point. If I see kids with chocolate, I'm like, yo, I bought you that chocolate. That's crazy. That's my chocolate. But I don't know. I don't know. Very odd. Truly the most odd. But it's like so weird that it's believable. Because why would you make that up? Why would you make that foundation up? The African Chocolate Foundation. Well, that's a weird foundation. That sounds like some like white woman foundation and sleep with black men. The African Chocolate Foundation set up for me a fat white woman. Is that the stereotype? Fat white women, or Jamaican men love fat white women? Why is that a thing? I don't know why. God damn, that sounded kind of racist, but I think it's true. I think it is true. This episode is brought to you by Fiverr. Whether you need a logo, a voiceover, or a custom website, Fiverr connects you with talented freelancers across the world. Mostly in countries where things are way cheaper, if you catch my drift. You can support countries that the United States has tried to colonize and left bereft and in need of work. You can get a lot of good stuff for good prices. I've personally used Fiverr many times. You can visit meatsangria.com and click on the podcast sponsor section to get started on your first project. The African Chocolate Foundation. So I don't know what her next thing is. There's been a bunch of people who are known for their begging, their busking. Is that what it's called? In New York City, and people talk about, yeah, that guy asked me for money too. So I wonder if anyone could corroborate this story. It was a young woman, probably my age, I want to say, shorter than me, maybe 5'5". I want to say she was a brunette with shortish hair. I'm not sure. Not exactly sure. Forgot. This is over a year ago. But I donated $20, which is the most I think I've ever given anyone that came up to me on the street, for sure. I've given more money online to stuff, but $20 is crazy. Anyway, I saw this ad for a mobile bidet. A bidet that is in a water bottle and you can just squeeze it on your ass. And I was like, what is this? It was on TikTok and I was going to make a reaction to it, but I was like, no. It's the most ridiculous looking product ever. It's a water bottle, but it has a little tongue part coming out that has a hole in it that you can squeeze water out of. And it's for you bring it with you on the go. You're supposed to travel with this. A whole device just for your fucking asshole. And it's for if you're at someone's house, you have your mobile bidet with you. This is ridiculous. Is it a cool product? Sure, if it works. I mean, I've actually never used a bidet. I want to be clear. I've never used a bidet, which is crazy. I use wet wipes in my butthole sometimes. Listen, guys, I'm a clean man, I believe. If things get really bad and I'm at home, I hop in the shower. I can't risk it. I go, this paper's not doing enough. And I only put my butt onto the shower. I just lean back and I go, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I play that. I loop through one song. I wipe my butt in the shower with some soap, and we pop out. But a bidet and a mobile bidet, I just don't think what is it really doing? Because you kind of need friction. You need to, in my mind, you need to wipe and then use the mobile bidet. Maybe that's what people do. Maybe I just don't know how to use a bidet. I guess that's what it is. Because you can't just. It's like saying if I dip my hand in poop and I just sprayed it with water, that wouldn't clean it. You need to really get in deep, you know what I mean? You know, wipe and then clean. So this water bottle thing, I think it's useless. Kind of a cool idea, maybe, but I think it's pretty much as useless. You might as well just put your ass into the sink. You go to a McDonald's bathroom, but hey, do you have the code? And then going insane there. You'd have to be a contortionist though to put your ass under a sink though. That's crazy. I don't even know the configure. I'm trying to think of body position, how you would do that. You get on all four, you get on a handstand, then you get your butt. I think you could. No, you can't. It depends on the arc of the sink. It can't be one of these little small. I hate those sinks. They just have a small little snout. You can't get anything underneath. I like a nice sink that goes whoop, like a candy cane, whoop, and then goes down. That is cool. Or what was I saying? I don't even. Oh, the bidet. I forgot what I was just thinking about sinks now. I should be a sink designer. I was for about 3 years. I worked for Delta. That's a sink. And Koning, is that another sink brand? Koning and Delta, 2 of the top 5 sink brands. Yeah, so the mobile bidet, if any of you have it, I just who's carrying that with them? I don't even get it. Maybe I should buy one just for my house, just keep it there. I would actually do that just to try it, but who's bringing that? You bring it to your friend's house, you bring it to a concert, you have your water bottle and your bidet. Someone's gonna confuse it for their actual water. Not that it has poop particles in it, you don't shove it up your ass, but it's still kind of questionable. I'll be honest, if I found out my water bottle had been within 6 inches of someone's asshole, I'd be less likely to want to drink it. I would. If I found out your bidet was next to someone's butt, I would be less likely want it near me. Just curious about that. But some people eat. I've never eaten ass. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I've never done it. I've never progressed that far in my liking of someone. And some people don't wipe. There's a lot of women that complain about men not wiping their ass. And I feel for them. I don't think they're going to use a bidet anytime soon, though. I really don't. I think the first step is literally just wiping your ass. And I also get it from the man's perspective, because sometimes you're wiping and it's just always a little bit left, and you're like, yeah, I got things to do, bro. I got a life to live. And sometimes I'm guilty of it. I'm just like, you know what? We'll get it next time. But I'm saying, like, it's a real feint. Like, you look at it and you're just like, there's a little bit there, but you can't get it off. I'm not saying, like, some guys don't wipe their ass. Like, they don't even go back there once. You got to give it some guy, and there's the scale. There's some guys don't wipe their ass, and some guys wipe until their ass bleeds. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Also, I don't get, like, if your ass is bleeding and you poop on the blood, isn't that, like, contaminating your bloodstream? Am I stupid? Isn't it, like, going into your fucking bloodstream? Like, if you injected poop into someone, that'd be a horrible thing. Maybe there's, like, some extra fucking shit down there. I don't know. I am not a scientist, not a doctor, but that seems, like, weird. If I just pissed in someone's bloodstream, it'd be bad for them, I assume. But if I wipe till it bleeds, is that not a problem? I don't know. Yeah, there's a middle ground there, and I tend to live there. But I have wet wipes, so I don't tend to live there, but you know. Sometimes it just, yeah, like, fuck, man. Fuck, I have a business meeting in 10 minutes, and I just shit myself. Anywho, let's see what's going on, guys. We have some news stories. British female cops wear athletic clothing and run in public. This was one little test they did, and they arrested people who catcalled them. This is a beautiful scenario, and I kind of like this strategy. You know, this is a British thing, so I'm sure there's going to be some controversy. UK police arrest catcallers. Let's see if that gets me there. I think there's some argument about, like, migrants. Like, are they doing this to get the migrants? From catcalls to the doghouse. Female cops in England went undercover as joggers wearing tight-fitting clothing in a bid to elicit catcalls. First of all, that seems like entrapment. Here's the thing. If I saw a woman, let's say a female British police officer jogger went naked jogging, would I say something to her? No, but I would certainly look and be like, what the fuck? Would she arrest me for that? I don't know the rules in Britain. In Britain, you get arrested for just, like, looking at someone where someone stabs someone, they're like, nah, it's fine, but you type, I don't like the Queen, and then they kill you. I'm kidding. That's a right-wing talking point. You see what they're doing in Britain? They arrested some of them. The Surrey Police Department creating a trial. First of all, you also have to have female cops that are hot enough to do this. You can't have, like, a bunch of tortas running around. Then people they might still catcall. But you got to have some baddies. You have some baddie cops. Oh, I see them. Okay, let's see. Officer Abby Hayward, another Surrey Police Department officer. I mean, I'm not going to call them baddies, but they certainly look good enough to get catcalled. We'll say that. Not by me, of course, by some British people. What is British catcalling even do? Hey, what a lovely pair of birds walking down. You knockers, I was going to say the Knickers word, but that's too close. Your knickers in a twist. Man, those knickers make your booty look really nice. Make your bunghole. They led to 18 arrests for offenses like sexual assault, harassment, and theft. Oh, were these guys going crazy, dude? Female officers were sent during rush hour to hotspots where open sexual harassment of women is commonplace and pretended to be joggers, not joggers. That sounds like that's the thing British people would say. You got a nice pair of jonkers on you, right? That was Australian. One of our officers was honked at within 10 minutes. Then another vehicle slowed down, beeping and making gesture just 30 seconds later. Oh, they're doing drive-bys? I thought they were like men in the park. That's a good idea. That's honestly such a good idea, because then the guys will know that it could be a police officer they're catcalling, so they won't do it anymore. This is an amazing idea. This is what American men should, or American police officers, male, should dress up as females. So I'm not saying the hot female shouldn't do this, but really, to get this done, you dress up as a hot woman, like the movie White Chicks, and you go jogging and see what happens. You get a nice BBL, some assets in the front. One of the officers in the group said the harassment she faced during the trial period reflects her everyday experience in Surrey. Well, yeah, it's not great. I'm going to be honest. Being a woman kind of sucks. Guys, I don't want to sound woke, but being a woman's kind of hard. Let's see. Just top repeat offenders. But they didn't really talk about the theft or the sexual harassment or sexual assault. Harassment, I get. Assault, like, are these men, like, going up to you and touching you? Like, that's kind of crazy. I don't know. I don't know what's considered what in England. Also, that's a crazy thing to like catcall a woman and steal something from her. What's that? That's kind of weird. Hey, you're amazing. Can I have your phone? Run me your phone, bruv. Is that what they say? It seems so easy. I'm not going to jinx myself if I'm ever in London, but like, can't you just run away? Like a knife attack? Like if some guys, like with a gun, you can't do that. Some guy comes up with your gun, you gotta just be like, all right, here's my stuff. The knife, bro? Like, all right, I'm going to run away from you. Like, are you going to chase me and stab me? You want my, I know you don't want to hurt me. Like, you just want my phone. Well, some people want to hurt. Some people want to hurt you, but you know, in general, like a young little kid, I'm like, can I just run, bro? I mean, I'm not a good runner, but I'll sprint. All right, we have a story from a Buccaneers game. We talked about, I think, last episode, how there was a, this is not related at all. I don't know why I'm saying this. There's a couple at a baseball game the guy was fingering her and she was orgasming in the stands. And this one is the video looks similar, where it's a guy and a girl and the woman is like shaking in the stands, but she's having a medical emergency. And the paramedics came. This is a Buccaneers preseason game. Apparently the paramedics came to save her, and her boyfriend was just like, nah, I'm gonna watch the rest of the game. Which is crazy, which is so funny. It's so funny because one, it's a preseason game. It's the most useless game. It doesn't matter at all. Nobody cares about this game. I would get it a little bit if it was the Super Bowl, for sure I'd get it. Or if it's the Super Bowl and it was your team, I'd get it. If it's like your team in an important game, I'd get it also. Would I still, like, if my wife that I loved dearly was having a medical episode that was serious, yeah, I would go with her. What the fuck? I'll just watch the game on like the TV screen in one of these other rooms or whatever. But the guy was just like, nah. It looked like she was kind of just getting like too hot or something. I don't know. She wasn't like dying. Then she was like bleeding out to death. It's like, babe, you had to do that while I'm watching my favorite team? What the fuck? Baker Mayfield's trying to throw a touchdown pass, you fucking bitch. But yeah, it didn't look great on him. If that was a first date, not good. Not great. Questionable. We'll say those three things. It's a Donald Trump way of speaking. Some people do say I sound like Donald Trump sometimes. Not good, not great, questionable. Not a good impression. Not a good impression. But yeah, so anyone at a football game I haven't been to in a while, don't leave, especially if you're at any sporting event with your spouse, don't fucking leave them when they're having a medical episode. Are you kidding me? Unless they do it every time, like, well, that's still like, I don't know what to say about that. Unless like it's like the boy who cried wolf. It's like, let's say they throw a tantrum every time. I don't even know the scenario I'm trying to think of, but you know what I mean. Like you go to something and every time someone does it, you're just tired of their shit. She fucking faints every fucking. She gets shot in the head every fucking game. Unbelievable. Why do you have such a big head, dude? Stop being a target. Then I get it, but I don't know. I don't know how much a Buccaneers preseason game costs, but it probably can't be that much. But everything costs a lot, guys. If haircuts cost $40, everything, the price of groceries since 2020 is up like, what, 70%? This is ridiculous, guys. How do we live like this? How do we live like this? I don't know. I'm just trying to make it, Doug. I'm just trying to make it in this cold, cold world. 1 second, water. This episode is sponsored by the Matt Lipari Store. If you're currently naked and in need of clothing, who wrote this? The Matt Lipari Store has everything you can need except for pants and underwear and a jacket if it's cold. So pretty much only shirts, but you can get a bubonic plague chicken club shirt, a swamp ass shirt. There's so many options. Visit MattLipariStore.com and use code Meat Sangria, all caps, to get 10% off your entire order. We have some Shohei Ohtani scandal. Let me get the full news of this scandal. Shohei Ohtani real estate scandal. If you don't know who Shohei Ohtani is, he is a Japanese baseball player, best baseball player, I will say. And so he's been in the spotlight recently because he had a betting scandal a while ago, a gambling scandal, which we talked about. The interpreter, his interpreter was the one gambling, but people, were saying it could have been him. But now him and his agent are accused of sabotaging a luxury real estate deal in Hawaii. Shohei Ohtani's agent sabotaged real estate developers in Hawaii, engineering their wrongful and pretextual termination. Basically, they're saying these people brought the Ohtani onto this real estate deal, and afterwards, Ohtani and his agent schemed to somehow remove the people that brought them on from the deal. A $240 million housing project on the Hawaiian coast. And so people are saying, what the fuck is with Ohtani and these scandals? And this one, I don't really know what this is. This could be like, to me, it seems like he's kind of loose with his money, we'll say. Not loose, but like, he's just, this is what you do when you have a lot of money and you're a sports investor. You just kind of like, or you're a sports player, you kind of just should be investing in a lot of different things. You should be like spreading your money. That's how you keep your money and make a good financial decision. And so he plays the full season. I doubt he's the one doing all these negotiations. They sued him because he's part of the group. It's probably his agent that was doing all this shit. I don't know. People are trying to say, well, first we had the gambling scandal, now we have this scandal. This man's up to no good. I don't really think he is. I'm going to be honest. I'll defend him. My nice Japanese prince. I'll defend my sweet, sweet child. My sweet, sweet young man. I don't know. I don't know. And I tend to think this is a nothing burger. Maybe he'll get sued and lose money. I don't know, but at a certain point, it's like Shaq being sued for like one of his Shaq gummies. I mean, like the Shaq gummies have carcinogens in them. It's like, okay, that's not good for Shaq, but also if you were implying that Shaq developed the recipe for his gummies, that's like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Shaq is just like someone's like, hey, we want to make gummies. Here's your money. You got money from this? Here's Shaq-alicious gummies. He's like, okay. Someone came to Ohtani's agent. We're going to invest in this real estate project with you, blah, blah, blah. He probably like, okay. That's how it goes. So to say that he's like some evil mastermind, maybe he is. Maybe he is. I don't know. The Japanese, listen, guys. Let's just say the Japanese have done some atrocious things in the past, as of every culture. But the Japanese in particular, World War II, them versus China wasn't good. Of course, America has done some very bad things to Japan as well. Not good. Pearl Harbor, yada, yada, yada. So, I'm not putting it past. They could be up to no good, but I'm saying I don't really think he is. And, this is probably going to blow over. We'll see. It's not great when the best player in your sport is named in a big scandal, but this one's really not. It's not about the game of baseball. It's just about like Hawaii real estate, which also seems like a controversial project because I feel like Hawaiians are always like, we don't want anyone living here. Get away from our island. You're ruining our beautiful island. A $240 million real estate development deal. Interesting. Well, I guess if that's building homes for people to live in, maybe it's not that bad. $240 million though. That's a lot of fucking homes. That seems like too many. That's a crazy amount of homes. I don't know what the real estate market is like in Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii, and I would love to go. It seems like such a cool place. Hawaii. Honolulu, Hawaii. That would be a good place to go on my honeymoon when I get married to the love of my life, who may be watching this right now. I don't know. I have no clue. She may be in Africa. I don't know, guys. I may have met her already. I don't think I have, but you never know. Could. You know what? I could have. I think my parents went to Hawaii on their honeymoon. I'm not sure, actually. They went there for some reason. I think they went with my aunt and uncle. I don't remember, guys. These are stories before I was born, guys. I'm not a baby out of wedlock. I'm simply a man who... Sorry, I just got a notification, and I don't want to read it yet. I want to focus on the podcast. Oh, and then we also have some Japanese... We have two Japanese boxers who are in the same fight card die. Which is crazy. That's another. They're gonna blame Ohtani for that too. They're like, "What the fuck? You bet on them to die?" But like, a suspicious number of bets were placed. I don't think you can bet on someone to die. That's crazy. That'd be crazy because then you would just you would place a giant bet and then you would kill them. That'd be a good like fantasy book, like betting on people to die. I'm gonna write that down. Actually, that's a good idea. Betting on people to die. That's not. It wouldn't be a good fantasy book, but betting on people to die. Future. Sorry, guys. Could be a joke as well. Japanese boxers died. Okay, let's see that. Two boxing stars, both 28, died from brain injuries sustained at the same event. Bro, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. Both 28? Dude, I'm approaching that age. From brain and dude, how fucked up were they? My God. Fight on August 2nd, and they died on August 8th and 9th, respectively. I'm assuming they lost. That's crazy. You lose and you die. That's crazy. Oh man, dude, fighting is crazy, bro. My God. I'm surprised more boxers don't die, or like UFC fighters. You're fucking each other up, bro. CTE is so. Oh my God. Boxing is less. Well, the thing with boxing is like you're only going for their head. That's the thing, or like their gut. In UFC, you like submit people. It's not as much like head punching. Well, there is, but boxing, you're literally just like punching their head for 12 rounds. Man, that sucks. That's crazy. I mean, I've never been punched in the face before. I don't want to be, because it fucks up your brain, right? Your brain, and you get some phlegm, you get concussions, and they just stack up. I feel like you get concussed every round or every fight you get in. You're getting concussed. That's why fucking Floyd Mayweather can't read or whatever they say, some stupid shit. 50 Cent bet that Floyd Mayweather couldn't read one page of a Harry Potter book. That's fucking funny. Because I'm sure he could read at one point, but he probably so fucked up. That's why it's amazing if you're that fucked up and you can still be a good boxer, because boxing is like a skill. It's strategic. You get fucking punched in the head so many times, How is that working? That's crazy, dude. That is actually crazy. Rest in peace to those guys. Let me do a nice... I always forget to do a nice thumbnail pose. Let me do like a nice punch boxing. Let me do my own face. Nice, it was perfect. Maybe I'll get into a fight one day, and I can fight a lion in the Serengeti. That'd be kind of cool. Or a hippo. No, a hippo would fuck me up. Well, they would both fuck me up. Let's be clear. Let's be real, guys. There's no situation where I'm winning. I am bringing a knife, so... I guess there is a situation where I can beat... an animal if I like, not a hippo though, like a lion maybe, but I would get fucked up. A lion maybe, a hippo, I don't think my knife could pierce the skin. A rhino, I don't think either. Like a cheetah, a leopard, yeah. A cheetah, yeah. A water buffalo, no. A gorilla, no, but I think my knife could do some damage to that gorilla. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to what we're doing here. We're talking about Zohran Mamdani. Guys, I don't know what this controversy... You don't know Zohran Mamdani is probably going to be the next mayor of New York City. And his big rival... Sorry, my nose. His big rival is now Andrew Cuomo in the election. Andrew Cuomo is running as an independent. Former governor of New York, disgraced governor. And they're fighting back and forth, and this is the most ridiculous thing ever. Andrew Cuomo's big thing against Zohran Mamdani. This is how, listen, as I said before, I'm not like a stan of Zohran Mamdani. I will probably vote for him against my Cuban grandma's wishes, who think he's a communist, the future communist dictator, Fidel Castro Jr., which, what can I say to that? I mean, I can't, there's no reason to even, whatever. But Andrew Cuomo's big thing against him is like Zohran Mamdani is paying for a rent-controlled apartment. He's paying $2,300 a month for his apartment, when that apartment could be going to a family that makes way less because it's rent-controlled. And they keep harping on this thing, and I just keep seeing it, and I'm like, that's it? That's your big gotcha thing? They're like, Zohran Mamdani is keeping a family homeless on the street because he's taking this apartment when he has more than enough money to pay for a bigger one or a more expensive one. And number one, is that true? Sure. It's the most egregious thing in the world? Not by any stretch. If I was him, I would do the same thing. Since when... Listen, this is like kind of like a socialist idea, I guess, but like, since when are you required legally to buy the most expensive thing just because you have more money? That's not, you should want to get a good deal if you have money. That's not how this works. But I get it, if there's only a finite number of rent-controlled apartments, someone who needs it more should get it, theoretically. But, whatever. And then everyone, I see people trying to make it a big deal. They're like, oh my God, how could he do this? And I'm like, what the fuck, you guys? Andrew Cuomo's going to lose so badly, it's ridiculous. And then Zohran Mamdani came back with another thing about Andrew Cuomo, just like, all right, bro, you touched people. You have this weird, you're like maybe on the Epstein list. You have some shady company that you're advising fucking Epstein people, all this stuff. He just came out with like 5 things. I'm like, bro, he fucking owned you, dude. He got you so good. That's what you came at him for the rent thing, and he had all of this other shit on you? You fucking idiot. there's got to be some, like, I think AI might be running Andrew Cuomo's account, because if you look at him on Twitter, bro, the things he's posting are so weird. He's responding to people's things. So weird. I don't know who he is running. It's not AI. It's like some teen, but it's so bad. Oh my God, I can't wait till he loses. But he might, I don't know what's going to happen with this election, but it's so fucking funny. This is ridiculous. So listen, in terms of skeletons in your closet, Zoran Mamdani is at the bottom of the list. Maybe he's got something, but there's nothing there, dude. Come on, Andrew Cuomo, what the fuck? This episode of the Meat Sangria podcast is sponsored by NordVPN. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and you could be exploited by hackers. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. Visit meatsangria.com and click on the podcast sponsor section to get 72% off NordVPN's 2-year plan. I know I do a lot of risky things on the internet. Let's just say I like to peruse the things the World Wide Web has to offer. You got to stay safe, guys. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect your data and your device. NordVPN lets you do that. Once again, meatsangria.com. Click on this podcast sponsor section to get our special deal. Thank you. And like I said, he has some policies that are interesting. I will vote for him just because I think it's a fun thing to do, and we'll see what happens. But, and like I said, my Cuban grandma, a communist escapee, or she escaped beforehand, but right beforehand. I think they just hear the word socialist and they go, we can't have this. This is fucking fucked up. But I was with her this weekend. We went crabbing. She was attendant at the crabbing event. I was like, listen, they also hate Bill de Blasio, the previous mayor. Like, yeah, he was our mayor. Did anything really that bad happen? Like, we have plenty of shitty mayors. It's not like the city collapses. We've had plenty of very liberal mayors. Just regular stuff happens. Like, maybe it gets slightly worse. The crime rate always fluctuates, and I hate when people do this. Like, we have annual crime rates, and they're always relatively the same, I think. And people, we'll say, someone will make a proclamation, like, let's say Eric Adams says the crime rate is down, and then there'll be an article about someone getting pushed in the subway. And the people in comments will be like, yeah, it's so much for that crime rate being down. Look at this. They're fucking lying to us. It's like, do you guys know what rate means? You fucking morons. You retard. It's like, okay, some guy got shot in the head, let's say, down the street. If that was the only time that happened in the whole year, that's an amazing year for New York City. This is the safest year ever. You can't just be like, oh, some guy got shot in the head, so crime is up at an unprecedented rate. That's not how it works. You have to look at it at a rate basis. So sure, when you hear about someone getting pushed, you go, oh my God, that's so sad. That's crazy. The city's unsafe. But if one person got pushed in 1 year, that's amazing. That's so good. I would sign up for that every day. But all right, yeah, you get pushed, bro. You're good. The quota is good for the whole year. So it's just like stupidity. And I think a lot of people commenting this stuff know they're stupid. They're just trying to fearmonger or whatever. Because, some people, I would say my mom is one of them. You hear like these scary things. You go, oh my God, scary things in New York. You go, oh my God, that's scary. Some people do that. So you kind of have to see the big picture. It's the same. We're going to talk about the same with. Is that the next thing we will be? Yeah, the same with Washington D.C. and Donald Trump. Calling in the National Guard or trying to get. Were they doing a curfew? A minor curfew. You can say, the experts say that crime isn't up in Washington, D.C., and they're probably right. It's probably the same. But I guess you can look at it from another angle and be like, yeah, even if it's the same, it's still bad, right? A lot of people like to say it's up under, Biden or whatever. But even if it's the same as before, it's still too much. So I get that perspective, right? If you want to say it's too much, but you can't just say it's like increased or a crime in the city. It's if it's the same, it's the same. But but anyway, with the DC thing, I think it's scary in a lot of regards. What just mobilizing police and having them under your control for an entire city and having a curfew is a very historically questionable act. We'll say that. And I get it. Listen, sometimes like I said with Zoran Mamdani, you kind of have, if you want to try out these publicly funded grocery stores or free buses, you kind of have to try something and see if it works. And so let's say theoretically if Donald Trump is saying, okay, let's say we just have this super intense month period where we try to fix DC and we'll see if it works. You know, I can't be a hypocrite and be like, I want the bus system to test, but not this other thing to test. But I just don't trust that that's what's happening. But I'd be curious to see how, if, you know, some intense, like, anti-crime thing would fix crime. I don't know. I have no clue. But the playbook is questionable. And, you know, I'd be concerned. I would be concerned. So, yeah, I'm not, you know, I don't know the full details about it. I was talking to this girl a few weeks ago. We were supposed to actually go on a date today, and she was like, I don't want to go on a date with you anymore. I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. I'm going on my trip. Like I said before, if I go on a date with someone and I'm going on a trip for 10 days where I don't have my phone turned on, it's not going to last, guys. There's no winner. The rapport is not being built. Anyway, but she was like, we were just talking a little bit on the apps, and she was telling me how she was from DC, or no, she lived in DC, and I asked her like why she left DC, and she was like kind of being condescending to me. She's like, is that a real question? And I was like, why would it not be a real question? What the fuck? She's like, I can't tell if you're being stupid with me or you're like a Trumper. And I was like, why would I be? I was like, okay, is the city of DC that perverted by Trump? Not perverted, but, you know, like infiltrated by Trumpian politics that you can't even live there, that you step outside and you're just bombarded with Trump? I wouldn't assume that. I didn't think anything of that. And she said, oh, no, I work in government. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to know you work in government? Fucking lady. But anyway, she was like, yeah, it is, like, a lot of people, everyone there works in government is what she said. Which I don't believe, of course, but I'm sure a lot of it is government related, and it is a city for our government. I've been to DC many times under many presidents, and I've never felt like this, like when I walk in, it's like I've been under Obama. It's not like Obama lands, you know what I mean? It's don't go there and everyone's like, we love Obama, wearing Obama t-shirts. It was just a city. It felt like a city. And so I didn't know. I was like, okay, whatever. But apparently it's very, like, you know, it is a government town, and I get it, right? There's like all these government contractors that live in Virginia too. All the CIA people, the FBI people, the Raytheon people that bomb children in Gaza, you know, those type of people, you know, they all live there. Yeah. So DC apparently is not fun to live in. Not as fun as New York, which we all knew. Or the DMV, what is that? The DC Metropolitan Virgin area? I don't know what it's called. The DMV, or DC Maryland, Virginia, is that what it is? I don't fucking know, guys. Yeah, apparently it's not that fun to live in, and now also there's, you know, weird police activity and what's going on. So we'll see what happens, guys. I kind of enjoy that I'm going on a vacation for 10 days, that I get to not see my phone, because you kind of just, I remember when I came back last year, I did the same thing. I've done a vacation like this every year. Last year, right before I left, Luigi Mangione did the shooting thing, and I came back and it was going crazy. Also, last year, I came back the day of, I found out that Juan Soto had signed with the New York Mets, my favorite team, a great signing. A bunch of other stuff, you like review, people die, and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's kind of cool. It's actually so much fun. You guys should really do this. You should try to do this. Just leave society for like 5 days and come back and see what happens. It's so nice. I'm just going to be in the woods with animals. It's really nice. And the year before I did it, I remember, and it was like, I would go during like this late November time. This time is going to be different, but it was always like a lot of baseball things. It was like a million. I'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. And like other things happen, and you'd be like, Jesus Christ, the world passes you by. It's a very unique experience. You don't get that here. We're all so connected. It's just fun to like know things are happening, and then you come back and you're like, holy shit, that's crazy. Holy shit, I got canceled? What the fuck? That's crazy. So I'm excited to see what could happen. Also, the Mets are so bad right now. They've lost like 11 of 12 or 11 of 13, their last 13 games. So I'm excited to not see them for 10 days, and I come back, and, you know, whatever happens, happens. Maybe I'll come back and they're like, oh my shit, they're in first place? Holy shit. How the fuck do they do that? Or I come back and they're so bad that I'm just like, I don't care anymore. It's so beautiful. It's truly so beautiful. All right. What do we got here? We're talking about repealing gay marriage. This is another thing that is being... So I think the news outlets are touting this as something Donald Trump is trying to do. As far as I know, what this is there's a lady who was sued for not baking a cake? We've all heard this story, right? The lady who was sued for not baking a cake for a gay couple. And she had to pay a lot of money because they ruled that you can't do that. Which, I'm going to be honest, there's a small part of me who believes that you should be able to not do whatever you want to do to whoever you want to do. Fuck. That wasn't a sentence. You should be able to withhold your services from anyone for any reason. A part of me does believe that. Which is like, obviously it's not good if you're gay, I don't want to make you a cake. But also, if I'm a service provider and I don't want to give you the service, I'm like, no, I don't want to give it to you. What the fuck? I think maybe the difference is like, if you're selling like a retail product and you've already made it, I think that's the difference. Like, then you can't just not sell it to someone. Like, they should be able to buy it. So I don't know if that was a scenario or whatever. But anyway, this lady, it's all this lady, as far as I know. I'm not going to look it up again because I don't want to get the facts right. She is the one who's appealing. She's saying, hey, Supreme Court, can you double check? Like, she had to pay a fucking big ass fine. She's basically saying, hey, can you like undo this? Like, so can you just like make it so I don't have to pay? She for her own monetary gain, she's like, which I get, you know what I mean? She probably had to pay like $100,000 or something. It's like, can you like undo this so like I don't have to pay this fine or I get my money back? And they're like, we'll take a look at this, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. So it's not like, Donald Trump's not like, we have to repeal gay marriage, which I'm sure he would be fine with. I don't think he particularly cares. Let me look up what I just said and see if it was remotely right. Gay marriage news. Let's see. Supreme Court formally asked to overturn landmark same-sex marriage ruling. Here's the lady. Here is the lady. Kim Davis, the former Kentucky County clerk, was jailed for 6... Oh, it wasn't cake. What the fuck am I saying? I was so bad. She was refusing to issue marriage licenses to a gay couple. I was actually thinking about that because I was like, as I was saying, I was like, how does the cake lead to gay marriage being legalized? That made no sense. She's refusing to issue marriage licenses. Okay, that's true. All right, guys. Whoops. Jesus Christ. Whoops. You have to do... This is... Okay, there's a reason she was jailed. She's legally responsible for doing that. She had to pay $100,000. That's crazy, right? She filed a petition 10 years later. What the fuck? Obergefell versus Hodges is the court ruling. She's claiming that it was egregiously wrong. She's a religious fundamental, though. What the fuck? Okay. So she's trying to repeal it. All right. I mean... See, they're saying like she was jailed for her religious convictions. Guys, this is America. You cannot put your religious beliefs into the legal system. You can't do that. That is a founding tenet of this country. And anyone who believes otherwise, I believe you're truly un-American. Truly, I do. If you're going to force your religious beliefs into the law of this country. So even if you disagree with something, if legally you're allowed to have multiple wives and I disagree with it, but I'm a law county clerk, I should be able to give you a marriage license for multiple wives. I should have to do that. And if I don't do it, I get fired. That's how it works. Lower courts have dismissed Davis's claim, and most legal experts consider her bid a long shot. Okay, so we're chilling. If the Supreme Court does something crazy, they do something crazy, but... I'm going to be honest, I think the Supreme Court, besides Clarence Thomas, has been pretty okay recently. They've been pretty okay. It's just a bunch of dudes and gals who just kind of like... Amy Coney Barrett has been kind of chill. Honestly, she's been kind of chill. Even though she's like a religious lady, she's been kind of like, yo, you know what? I'm feeling these fucking gays. I'm feeling them. I'm killing them. No, I'm not killing them. I'm feeling them. Touching them. Groping them. All right. 35 states in 2015 had constitutional bans on same-sex marriages. Interesting. All right, so far in 2025, at least 9 states have either introduced legislation aimed at blocking new marriage licenses for LGBTQ people or passed resolutions urging the Supreme Court to reverse Obergefell at the earliest opportunity. Guys, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Let the fucking gay people get married. What is this? This is so stupid, bro. This is so fucking stupid. Just let people... What is the problem? What is the fucking problem, bro? They're not fucking on top of you, bro. They're not fucking you in the ass. Let them get married, dude. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. How people, dude, did you think, like, how bored are people? How, like, truly, this is how you know there's not enough jobs, because, like, people have time to care about this bullshit. Put them to work, bro. Get a fucking job. You weirdos. Oh, I have another thing about gay people. I keep hearing the word sapphic being used, and I'm like, when the fuck did we start using this word? What the hell is this word sapphic? I've never heard this word before in my life before, like, a month ago. And it just means, like, lesbian. As far as I know, it just means, like, you like women. But people keep saying this, and I'm like, what? It's like, I just hate when people start using new words for no reason. And they start saying them like they're the most common word in the world. It's like when people started using juxtaposition. I'm like, who the fuck are you, bro? The fuck do you start using this word? Yeah, I know what it means. Yeah, it's a regular word, but what the fuck are you, like, what is this? It was like one day everyone started using juxtaposition. I'm like, can you guys die in a fire, dude? What the hell's wrong with you? Or like everyone started calling straight men cis white males. What the we had words for these already. Sapphic, bro. What? It's a cool word. It looks cool. It's like a fantasy character's name, like a last name or something. But what do we do? Like, it just annoys me when you just have to sound so cool. I hate when people just invent new words. Oh my god, what are your super neo-sapphic pronouns? Like, what? Okay, just say pronouns. You don't have to say the other things. You don't have to say the other stuff. I sound like your Republican congressman, but like, what is this? Just keep it simple, guys. This is how you lose people, truly, is when you make it complicated. Just keep it simple, and then you'll get so many more people on board. Like, yo, we got gay people, we got straight people, we got trans people, we got people who like animals, we got people who like inanimate objects. You don't have to be like, we have super transnational xeno. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You lost everyone. You lost everyone, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I know how to speak to the people. You lost everybody. What you're talking about might be fine. You might. It's just like the most complicated term, and all it means is like you like people who are smarter than you. That's what it means. I am a super xena agoraphobe. You're like, what? What are you saying? What are you saying? Alright. Dude, my throat is really dry right now, and it's not good. There are two types of guys in this world. This is my dating segment at the end. I've narrowed everyone to two type of guys. There are guys who enjoy hearing about other men having sex, and there are guys who don't. And I've noticed it's a very weird scenario. There are guys who like want to hear about their friends having sex. They want to hear, and there's actually three categories. There's guys like this, and there's guys who want to hear about men they don't even know having sex. They get proud of other men. And I think it's really weird. I'm going to be honest. Listen, if one of my good friends came to me and was like, yeah, I broke my dry spell. I just, I got some goods last night. I'd be like, nice, dude. I said that sarcastically. I wouldn't feel weird about it or feel like angry. I'd be like, oh, cool. But I wouldn't be like, tell me the details, bro. What kind of position? Yo, was it good? Yo, how's that peanut? Let me feel. Is it sore? I wouldn't do that. But some guys would. They're like, yo, like, I don't kiss and tell, I'll say. I don't really like talking about it. It's weird to me. But I feel like maybe this is going to be extended to everyone. Like, there's some dudes who, they're just like, they get too weird about it. And especially with the celebrity thing, like a guy will post, I forgot what this was spurned from. It was like some UFC fighter, I think, posting a video. He woke up in the morning. I don't know who it was. I can't find him anymore. He woke up in the morning and he was posting, and there was like a half-naked girl in his room. And all the comments are just like, nice, bro. Nice that you hit that. I'm like, bro, like, sure. Is it nice? Sure. Good for him, whatever. He had a nice one-night stand. I think his comments were like, I don't even follow her, bro. I don't even know. I was like, okay. But like, what are these comments, dude? What the fuck is going on? Who's sitting in the room like, oh, I'm gonna congratulate this UFC. Nice, bro. That's great body, bro. I'm so proud of you. Bro, that's so fucking hot, dude. Like, what? What are you doing? What a weird scenario. What a weird thing to just be like, it's like you're jacking off to other people having sex. Like, that's just, I guess that's what being a cuck is. I guess these people are cucks, now that I think about it. This is just, it's like a one level removed of cuckoldry. Because that's not true. Cucking is when they have sex with your wife, right? Having sex with another woman while you watch, I guess that is just like watching porn. So maybe I'm just wrong, but being in the room for that to happen, or like knowing the people that are having that like there's like levels of this. Watching porn is kind of like being a cuck, and then there's the next level where you get off to people having sex, but you don't know either of these people, you're just watching them. And then there's the, you get off to someone having sex with your wife or whatever, or your husband, I guess. Is there female cucks? I don't even know. That's interesting. I feel like they just all call themselves bisexual at that point. I was like, I might as well get in there. What the fuck? If he's gonna have sex with her, I might as well join. Not sure. Are there any male cucks who want to be part of this action? That's interesting. I don't know. I'll ask myself. No, I'm kidding. That'd be crazy if that was my big reveal, guys. That'd be crazy. But yeah, what was I saying? So these guys, it's just weird to me. It's just very bizarre. And, I don't know. I feel like maybe, like, I don't think... Oh, shit, is my foot here? No, is it my knee? I think my foot was being shown. I think I have some friends who are like, they're just, like, weirdly graphic about some stuff. There's like, yo, we were doing all this, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear that, dude. I don't care. What am I supposed to do? Like, my thought is, how am I supposed to react to this? Like, no way, bro. No way, doggy stuff, bro. That's like, what am I supposed to do? It's just weird. It's just awkward. I think it's just weird. It just makes me uncomfortable. Same with like me telling it. So why would I want to tell you? That's also why I hate like when some comedians will tell like such a graphic story about sex. I'm like, that's just not funny. I don't know. I don't like them. I have jokes about sex, but they're like periphery jokes. It's like jokes about the act or like things that may like one like funny thing. It's not like, so then I put her in a full Nelson and I was going crazy. I was like, what? What are you saying, bro? So I don't know. That's weird. But yeah, I'm talking about this. I guess I would call myself in a dry spell right now, guys. Haven't been with someone for a couple months at this point. And it's all good. It's fine. I don't really care. But yeah, it's like, you think maybe that's what annoying me when some guy is like, but it didn't annoy me, the video. I was just like, okay, this guy's filming this. And then the comments annoyed me. I just get annoyed when people write fucking comments. And there's all these like weird, I don't know how to describe them, these weird Twitter accounts. I'm gonna call them like frat boy Twitter accounts, where they're all like anonymous and they all just post these like weird things like, got a hot bombshell date later. Hopefully she sucks me off and then I get to go back to my dad's boathouse. It's like, I don't know how to describe. That was a bad example. And then all the comments are just other of these accounts just being like, hell yeah, dude, living the summer dream. It's like, what are we doing? Bro, it's like a weird cuck circle, bro. It's weird. They're just weirdos, bro. It like, bothers me how weird they are. It bothers me how weird they are and they think this is like cool. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Anyway, that's that. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much. This has been an amazing episode. Remember, no episode next week. I'm going to be away. But we will return with a shebang if I live. If I don't, thank you guys so much for being my fans. If you die, you die. I'll be in a better place. And I love you all. But guys, be kind to one another. This is the Ellen way to say things. Ellen, one of the least kind people of all time. Be kind to one another, guys. Love and respect. Hey! Give me my fucking coffee! Sorry, that was me yelling at one of my assistants. Guys, be kind. Even though I make fun of everyone, be kind. You can make fun of them in jest. Be kind to one another and love your neighbor. And open your hearts to others because you don't know what someone's going through. Anyway, I don't know why I'm doing this. See you guys. Peace.